Hey everyone from Facebook, it's Michelle here from Being More Human, and I just wanted to check in with you guys. I've been off on holidays for a little while with my family and been having a lovely time, and I wanted to share just a little bit of what we did on holidays with you. So we went up to Starfest, which was at Coonabarabran, and we got to have an amazing time listening to all these incredibly intelligent astrophysicists talk about the universe and collecting all this data and galaxies and dark matter and all other kinds of things that, although my son was very across, I had never heard of before. And I just wanted to share it with you on the topic of this live stream because it struck me. One night we were doing a viewing of, we were at a telescope, a big telescope behind Coonabarabran in the hills in the Warrumbungles. And we were doing a viewing of Saturn and a viewing of the moon. And it was so amazing to see Saturn through this telescope. And it literally looked like this UFO was landing. There was a round center part and then, of course, the rings that we know from Saturn. And it was so distinguishable that it felt like you could just reach out and touch it. And then when we were checking out the moon, you could see the level of detail all about the craters and everything on the moon. And before someone asked, no, you couldn't see where man landed on the moon or the footsteps for that. But it just got me really thinking about perspective. And I know in my life, in a lot of times, I have in the past felt like I've been in these situations where I haven't been able to get out of them, or I felt like there's this problem that I've had to solve. And in looking back and getting different perspective at what was going on in those times, I know that one way of describing it is that when my head was too much in the detail. And so I wanted to share with you about how healthy getting some perspective can be on being able to see lots of other different options that we might have to solving a problem, and B, around learning. So I'll give you the first example. If you are so stuck in a problem and you think you hate your job, and let's just use that as a specific example. Sorry, I'm wobbling a little bit. I've misplaced my tripod, but I'll hold it a bit differently. So if you're in the situation where for whatever reason you don't like your job and you're not motivated, it can be very, very easy to feel like you're really stuck in that place and there's no other jobs and you couldn't leave anyway because you've been in that organization for so long, you're relying on the paycheck, you get the story, right? So you feel as though you're overwhelmed by this problem, the problem being your job. Now, the quickest way to get perspective around something is to pretend as though you are the fly on the wall looking down at yourself. So if you step back and you pretend you're the fly on the wall, when you have perspective, you suddenly see this massive range of different options and alternatives. And that is a really healthy thing because suddenly, instead of feeling like you're in it, you're outside it and you're looking down, and pretty much always you can see some kind of solution or tool or strategy or person that you can speak to that you weren't able to see before when your head was so in it. So that's the first tip, I guess, around gaining perspective. The second tip is that there's lots of ways that you can go about gaining perspective, but I want to just share with you one of the ways that I utilize very actively to gain perspective, and that is about diversity. So I know that my brain is much better, much more effective, much more challenged, and much more accurate when there's all these other different brains and people and humans all around me who are challenging me and questioning things and debating things. And together, I know that we can come up with the best possible alternative. Now, whether diversity in your life is like that, or whether it's about actively seeking out, spending time with people who are born in other countries to you, or whether you want to actively seek out and talk with people who believe different things to you, whether it be about religion or gender or whatever it might be. It could be that diversity in your world is it could be that you have a disability and you are wanting to learn how to interact, how to get a job, and how to be a broader part of society and contribute to that. Whatever perspective you have on diversity, it always broadens your perspective. And so today I just wanted to share with you a conference that we have that's coming up on Tuesday next week. And it's our Diversity and Inclusion Conference, and it's put on by Human Power and UQ Power and Being More Human. And you can Google those brands if you don't know who they are. And what the conference is all about is a whole morning and an afternoon about hearing people's stories in and around diversity. It's about understanding different perspectives on where people have come from, what their challenges have been, and the beauty of bringing all that together and really building on that and connecting with that. In the middle of the day, Human Power is partnering with Newcastle Business Club, and myself and Heidi Pollard will be the keynote speakers for the business club. So it's one ticket gets you into both of those things for the whole day. So all you need to do is to click on the link below, and you can schedule your place to come along to our diversity conference and also to the lunchtime session of the Newcastle Business Club. And come along, and we'd love you to share your stories on diversity as well. And see you there. Bye.